Well, hello, fellow diamond painters. I just watched the last two, I think, of Lazy Retired Grannies videos, and I saw the one about being tagged. At least one thing with being tagged. Then I got something I can talk about. It is 2:46 p.m. It's still Wednesday. It's still the 16th. It's still August, and it's still 2023. I'm working on I'm Crazy and I Know It. It's coming along really good. So I thought I'd, try to answer questions at the same time. Some of the questions I've seen, I don't know if I'm going to answer them exactly. It just depends. First, I want to start out, I have a diamond painting related injury. You probably can't see it. Well, yeah, see the red dot? See that? That is from jamming the tweezers into my thumb. I don't know which one of these ends was the culprit, but shame on both of them. I was trying to put glue in my pen. It slipped and it made a dead target. Just like, poison dart. And it hurt and bled like crazy. Doesn't hurt now. Maybe because it's a little numb and the thumb doesn't know it yet, but probably later it's going to hurt like hell. Especially when I go to stick my hands in water to wash dishes, hot water, how some injuries do. So, bad diamond painting, bad tweezers. So, okay. The first question, these are Becky's questions, it says, and I don't know who I'm going to tag afterwards because it looks like everybody's tagged. So I guess we're the last group. Me, Hoya Bella, and Crafting with V. Jan Keeling, hey lady, you could always answer some things if you feel like it. So there may be some others. I'm not familiar with their channels or their channel names. It's like duh in my head. So the first question was, if you could be any profession, what would it be? Well, if you'd asked me this when I was a lot younger, and I forgot what color I'm working on. Yikes. Wait a minute. The sixes. Okay. When I was younger, I wanted to be a singer. Because in choir class, I sang soprano. That was my range. And I just dropped drills. Holy crap. All over the place. Sorry. But I sang soprano. I loved choir. Always practiced at home. Singing to records and, just doing my thing. And my mom used to be a singer with a band, I guess I thought I could come by it naturally, My mom sang, 40s and 50s music and sang on radio and stuff. So I guess, that was part of my dream. But if you ask me now, which I guess, you're asking me now, I would have liked to have been a journalist or a reporter, dig out the scoops, that kind of thing. So I guess journalism would be the thing I'd be interested in, since, that's a profession I'd pick, because I took that in high school and really, really enjoyed it. Humidity around here or something is really bad, because this glue and even the wax, nothing is working today. So I guess that's my answer. The second one is, what did you actually become? I became a wife and a mother. And to me, that's one hell of a profession. Some people don't consider being a wife and mother all that complicated. But it is. Being a wife is not a lifetime commitment, because you get divorced, you move on. But being a mother is a lifetime commitment. You'll always be a mother, whether your child is a baby, or an adult. It's like I grew up with a specific name, and my name got changed to Mom. I don't have a name anymore. I'm Mom. So I didn't become anything in particular, just a wife and a mother. Didn't work outside the home. Well, I worked out, like, worked at a hotel, as a cleaning lady or maid, whatever you want to call them. That's not a profession. And that's pretty much it. I was a barmaid for a while, but that's not a profession. So I guess what I became is what I am today, a mom. And I see nothing wrong in that particular profession. So, third one. Where were you born, and how did you come to be where you live now? I don't know if I want to mention where I was born. I was born in Ohio. And I've lived in Ohio my whole life. The town I live in now is a very short hop, skip, and a jump from where I was born. So they always say you can't go home again. Yeah, you can. You can go home again. It's just not the same, but you can't go home again. I graduated in '69, left my hometown, moved to another place that I stayed for about 30 years. And I ended up moving back, not to my hometown, but probably 4 or 5 miles from my hometown. I could probably walk to my hometown if I really put my mind to it. There's nothing there anyway that, to speak of for me. For me. But, yeah. Born and bred and raised in Ohio. Always. So, I guess that's my answer. What is one moment in your life that has impacted you most? God, there's so many. Yes, of course, your children. I mean, I know that's what Granny, says, but there's so many other things. What impacted my life the most was one moment. That's awful not to have I guess I can honestly say the one moment that impacted my life or made a difference in my life was the birth of my daughter. Because I was awake for it, was prepared to go natural childbirth, but she wasn't. So it was an immediate cesarean, and I think that impacted me. The birth of your child, that's one thing, but to be prepared for one issue, one thing, go natural childbirth, went to classes for it, everything, and then the last, hour or so of it, it's okay, we have to go in now. It's not going to happen naturally. And that impacted me, thinking that anything could have happened. So I guess that impacted my life. I could also say that that's why there are other things too. Them telling me I had cancer. Okay, that impacted my life. Telling me that I was diabetic. That impacted my life. There are so many things that you can sit down and say, what has impacted your life? And if you really sat down and thought about it, there's a lot of things, that can impact your life a lot. I'm sorry, maybe that's too much answer, but that's my take on it. Okay, how did you meet your partner, spouse, if you don't have one? Who is the most influential person in your life? Or, this is not mentioned in the video, what would your perfect person be like? Okay, how did I meet my partner or spouse? I was married twice. So my first husband, I met through another person that I really liked. And I think maybe he just wanted to get rid of me. So he introduced me to his best friend. And we ended up dating for the summer and through the part of the end of the senior year, which, like I said, I didn't do any dating in high school, and I didn't until my 12th year when I met him. And then, like I had said in a previous video, we went to his prom, my prom, and the year after we got married. Had one son, married 7 years, divorced. My second husband, I met him through auto mechanic school. He wanted to work on diesels, and I worked on autos. Dated for a while, got married, had my daughter, married 7 years, divorced. And I didn't have the 7-year itch. It's just that it took me 7 years to figure out I didn't need to be with either one of them. That was the issue. It just took that long. But the most influential person in my life now is my stepfather. He will be 101 years old next month. Is it the end of next month? And that is an influence on me. He's lived this long. He's seen a lot. He's been in almost every state in the United States because he was a independent steel hauler, drove his own semi, repaired his own semi. Honest as the day is long, and that's the truth. And since he's lived as long as he has, his influence is that you, number one, take it day by day or hour by hour. You do no harm to anybody. You mind your business. You take care of your family. And nothing bothers him. He doesn't let anything, outside influences of any kind, affect him or bother him. Because he said, this is the life I live, and these are my choices, and basically he does it his way. And I like his philosophy. I like his ideas. I like the way he deals with things. And he's slowed down a bit, but he still gets out and mows lawn, cleans leaves, drives his own pickup truck. They had him take another driver's test a year or so ago. He passed everything, including eyesight, everything. He's got his license. He's doing fine. I mean, everybody can slow down and be gone. Who knows? But that's who influences me. And I'm sorry, but he, to me, is a perfect person. So that's my idea. Let's see. Where is it now? Which 2 or 3 people do you tag to answer these questions? Well, Becky's Diamond Bling, that says it's, whomever tag her back, I guess. I have no idea. I'll do that. I don't know anybody else. There's nobody else I know to tag. And in Tita's questions, what did you want to be when you were a kid? And what do you want to be when you grew up? Like I said, when I was a kid, like a little kid, I never thought, I always thought about growing up, getting married, and having kids. I mean, that's what I thought about when I was a little kid, because that's what I grew up around. My grandmother married, my mother married, it's what you learn by example, I guess. And just like Granny said in hers, what they expected, women to be when you were in school was either secretaries, waitresses, cooks, you were accountants. I took accounting and in school because that was something that you did. And I took journalism and everything, but there wasn't a lot for you to grow up to be at that time. I mean, they taught us cooking, cleaning, how to set a fancy table. They brought in a fake baby doll thing to teach us how to diaper one. I mean, that's what, you thought about growing up. And what did you want to be when you grew up? Well, I think I answered that one earlier. The other one is, if I could go anywhere, where would you like to visit? That one I do know. I would love to go to Italy. to Genoa, where my family on my father's side were from, and see if there is any, living relatives left or descendants. I would love to go there. The other place I would like to go to, because there's two places I would like to visit. Where my mother's side of the family is from is Transylvania, in Romania. She's Romanian, and their family is from Transylvania. And I am not joking. And I'm thinking maybe that's why I am a night person. Strange place to be from, isn't it? But because I am Romanian and Italian. They say mix those two together, you get a gypsy. Well, I'm not a gypsy because I don't like traveling particularly. I don't like flying. I don't like at all. But if I had the chance and had the money, I would have to either be knocked out or drunk and get me on the plane or the boat, and I'll go. I've been to Toronto, Canada. It would have been in the 70s. I think I mentioned that one time before. So those two places, Italy and Transylvania, Genoa, to see what family is there. So that's the answer to those questions. I guess that's it. I will have to figure out myself who I have to tag back so they can find the video. I'm not familiar with, I guess it would be at so-and-so, whoever that person is. So that's the answer to my questions, or to the questions, and I'm sure they weren't very informative. Like the impact, there were so many things in my life that impacted me, because I think that everybody's life, I think, goes in 10-year increments, 10-year interval. I'm going to say the wrong word. I can't think of the word. I hate that. It's like an increment, whatever. Every 10 years, there's something changing in your life. I don't know why I think that way or have thought that way, but that's what it seems like. And it's like a renewal every 10 years. Something is different. Either your body changes or the circumstances you're in can change. It's really odd how that, can happen. And it just seems like that to me. So it's like, in one 10-year increment, something will affect me, and that, changes my course. And then another will happen, and that changes, my course. So it seems like it's about every 10 years. And if I'm lucky enough to make it to 80, I'm going to be surprised on what happens then. So, I babbled enough. And I'm sure I didn't give any good answers to anything. My first husband has passed away. When we were talking about that, I noticed Granny had mentioned that. He passed a few years back. And my second ex-husband is still alive somewhere. Last time I heard, I think he was in Tennessee. And he never paid child support. So find him. Somebody. It doesn't matter. He'll never pay it. So, well, we're going to get off here. I've got supper cooking in the crock pot, slow cooker. A little piece of beef with some potatoes and carrots. Haven't had that in a long time. So, a little tiny roast. I can smell it cooking. Oh my gosh, I've been smelling it cooking for the last 2 hours. And it's like, oh, it's making me hungry. But it's not supper time yet. So, all right, y'all have a good one. I'll figure out what I'm supposed to do with this after I upload it and how I tag or whatever I'm supposed to do. I don't have anybody to, tag back. So, have a good one. This should be done today. And I will chat with y'all either later tonight or probably tomorrow. So, going to turn the AC on again. Getting hot. Have a good one. Chat with you later. Diamond Painting Crazy Lady, I'm out.